The second annual Artfluence Human Rights Festival kicks off on the 3rd of May. The festival puts the spotlight on artists who use their creative voices to advance human rights. Let's find out more from Ismael Mohamed from the Centre for Creative Arts at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Mohamed, thank you very much for your time this Sunday afternoon. So this festival hopes to provide a platform for strong artistic voices to articulate through various creative mediums issues pertaining to human rights. But why is the arts the perfect vehicle?
Well, Nelson Mandela said, where artists can get to where politicians sometimes don't succeed to get into. Our festival this year is going to be located at the Mandela capture site in the Umgeni municipality, just 8 kilometers outside of Howick in KwaZulu-Natal. And we believe that, particularly at this time where our country is going through certain tensions, we have the crisis that's been left with the UKZN floods. We also have just high levels of disillusionment through failed political leadership and so forth, that the voice of the artist is going to be incredibly important in rebuilding hope and confidence in our nation.
So not only is this festival located at the capture site, but also commemorates the 60th anniversary of the capture of Nelson Mandela. And some big names will be attending and some greats will be honoured. So this is your opportunity to name drop. Tell us who we can expect at this festival. Absolutely.
Our Human Rights Awards this year, a Lifetime Achievement Award has been awarded to Don Matera, a leading South African poet, writer, journalist, and, a social activist. Bev Ditsi is awarded the Artfluence Human Rights Champion Award, and Irfan Mangera from the Kathrada Foundation, the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, has been given the Young Activist Award. But with that, we also have a series of performances by Chester Missing, who is going to be delivering the keynote address, Conrad Koch and Chester Missing together on Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And then we have the film by Cedric Sandstrom, If This Be Treason, about the life of Helen Joseph. And we think that this is also particularly important because of the strong relationship that existed between Helen Joseph and Nelson Mandela. Then Nanda Subin, a renowned South African cartoonist, will be doing a series of his cartoons in a walkabout titled Nelson Mandela Captured by the Pen. We think by presenting the festival in this particular way, where we're both going to be online and in the real space this year, is just one way of also rekindling an arts economy that has been severely affected by the national lockdowns over the last 2 years.
So, as many events are hybrid these days, as you've explained, real-life events and online, you're also having some very weighty discussions as part of the online program. Tell us about some of those engagements.
Absolutely. We start off every afternoon at 1 o'clock. We continue to 3 and 5 and 7 o'clock. We're dealing with issues of migration and identity. We're dealing with issues of land rights, climate justice. Although these subjects are quite heavy, the manner in which we engage with them through the arts makes it so much more accessible. For example, the Gumba Contemporary Dance Festival, in partnership with the Flatfoot Dance Theatre Company, has commissioned 3 dancers to tell story about climate and other issues through their work, which will be presented both in the online space and in the live space. Renowned South African poet Lebo Mashile will coordinate a discussion with at least 3 other South African poets, who've been commissioned to create work about the marketplace. Now, this is particularly unique in that spoken word poetry at the present moment is the fastest growing art form in South Africa, and one that is the most accessible to young people. And we believe by presenting the work at the festival this year, not only do we engage young people, but we give young people the opportunity to lead us through their own creative voices around the key issues that affect us as a nation.
Artists have in the past played a critical role in advancing human rights in South Africa. How do you see this festival tying into the important role that artists play going forward to ensure that human rights are continuously advanced?
Historically, South African artists, through several of the work that's been presented pre-1994, have really contributed to the advancement of a culture of human rights and, of course, to the transformation of South Africa and the liberation struggle. What we see artists doing in our present time is reflecting the reality of our societies, the hopes, the failures, the disillusionment, and some of the challenges that we have. But more than that, they're inspiring new hope and they're giving us direction. And I think the role of the arts is key in the way we're able to reflect on the past in a very, very critical way, the way we engage with our present time through honest and transparent ways, and the way we kind of re-envision the kind of future that we want. And I think what is particularly important at this time is that adults, in terms of leadership, have failed us significantly. The high levels of corruption, the high levels of criminality, the problems that we have in our country have literally betrayed the liberation struggle in a very significant way. And artists who made their voices heard pre-1994 are once again making their voices heard in a post-1994 environment, not just providing us as warnings, as canaries in the mine, but really beginning to paint the kind of future and the better kind of hope and a hopeful future that we want for ourselves and for future generations of South Africans.
So if you want people to engage, we need to give them the logistical details. Will tickets for the live events and the online events be sold separately, and where can people engage with you?
Well, the online event is completely free. Anyone who has access to data can watch the online program on the Center for Creative Arts Facebook page or the Artfluence Human Rights page. The full program is also listed on our Facebook pages. The live event is limited in terms of seating because we're still following the COVID-19 protocols for live events. So those tickets can be obtained through web tickets. It's the Artfluence Human Rights Festival, and of course all the events are listed there from the 3rd to the 8th of May. The live events all take place at the Mandela Capture site, and they're all at 6 in the evening. What we encourage people coming to the Mandela Capture site is to try to come at least by a little earlier so that they can visit the museum itself, go and see the iconic sculpture that is in the precinct, and then stay to watch the show at 6 in the evening. So to turn that into a total experience when they visit the capture site.
Well, thank you very much for all that information. That was Ismael Mohamed, Director of the Center for Creative Arts in the University of KZN, telling us about the upcoming 2nd annual Artfluence Human Rights Festival taking place from the 3rd to the 8th of May.